Everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I am Toonie Terror Jim. Today we're going to look at 10 movies with cruel twist endings according to We Got This Covered. While some of these plot twists might have worked better than others, they each left audiences speechless by the end of their runtimes. Number 1 on the list, Atonement, 2007. Atonement stars James McAvoy and Keira Knightley in a romantic war drama set in World War II era England. Though their relationship is star-crossed for multiple reasons, McAvoy's Robbie is far below Knightley's Celia in social class. The two seem magnetically drawn to one another. Over the years, they weather incredible hardships to try and be together, until the end of the movie reveals that, actually, quite a lot of the film is a fictionalization by Cecilia's sister, Brioni. See, as it turns out, Brioni facilitated the final rift between Celia and Robbie, and they never got to reunite, with the two of them dying young. Number 2, Buried, 2010. Deadpool's Ryan Reynolds stars in this survival thriller about a man named Paul Conroy who finds himself buried alive by terrorists. The movie plays out as Paul desperately awaits rescue while stuck inside a coffin. With a BlackBerry at his disposal, Paul is given updates by the rescue team as they try to reach him. By the end of the film, it's down to the last seconds, with sand rushing into Paul's coffin and threatening to suffocate him. Luckily, it seems as though rescuers are about to pull him out. That's when it's revealed that rescuers have found the location of a different long-dead man. Paul is given some words of comfort as he listens on the phone, his life slipping away. Pretty brutal. Number 3, Remember Me, 2010. Remember Me, for the most part of its runtime, is your standard coming-of-age romance film. Pattinson's Tyler leads the cast in a small-stakes personal drama. So when Tyler makes his way to his father's office at the end of the film, audiences didn't expect for the big twist to be that the office was located in the World Trade Center, and the film was a period piece all along, taking place on September 11th, 2001. Number 4, The Mist, 2007. The Mist is one of those horror adaptations that manages to outdo the original's fear factor. The Mist was originally based on Stephen King's novella of the same name. When a terror in space-time unleashes Lovecraftian monsters, residents of a small town are forced to take refuge in a local grocery store. In the source material, things end on an ambiguous note, if not slightly hopeful one. In the film, after weathering the lawlessness inside the supermarket, Thomas James David manages to escape out into the world with his son Billy and 3 other survivors. Finding the world in ruins and his wife dead, David and the other survivors realize their chances of survival are slim. Since he only has 4 bullets, David mercy kills the other survivors, including his son. That's when the mist dissipates, revealing the United States military cleaning up the town. Just a few more moments, and Billy and the others would have been safe. Number 5, The Descent, 2005. Shauna McDonald stars as a young adventurer named Sarah in this horror film. When she and a group of friends go spelunking, following the loss of Sarah's husband, they encounter a bestial, goblin-like subspecies of humanity that has evolved to live in the dark. Their quest to escape these creatures and make their way back to the surface world forms the crux of the central conflict in the film. The Descent actually has 2 endings, due to concerns that was too depressing. The ending was cut in the American release, so Sarah does manage to escape the cave, though she's horribly traumatized. This ending is present in the original extended release, and this is the one that's considered canon to The Descent Part 2. Number 6, 1968, Night of the Living Dead. George A. Romero practically kick-started the modern zombie genre with this one, although the undead are called ghouls here. In this tale of horror, Ben, who survived the unquiet dead while holed up in a farmhouse with other survivors. Things are contentious, as human nature often is, and naturally, the Alliance doesn't make it to the end of the film when it's just down to Ben. As the horde surrounds the farmhouse, Ben hears armed men taking them down. Attracted by the sound, Ben finds more humans who promptly mistake him for a ghoul, shooting him dead and adding him to the growing bonfire. What makes this so interesting is the commentary on race in the horror genre and in America. Number 7, Brazil, 1985. Not that you'd expect a black comedy about a totalitarian government to end on a happy note. Brazil is one of Terry Gilliam's finest works. The film follows the story of a lowly government employee, Sam Lowry. Thanks to a clerical error, Sam gets caught up in a government conspiracy involving two men, one named Tuttle and one named Buttle. At the end of the movie, with Sam strapped to a torture chair, members of the resistance manage to break in and free him. As you might have expected from other entries on this list, that's not what's actually happening, and Sam has actually been tortured into insanity. Number 8, Ghostland, 2018. Also known as Incident in Ghostland, Crystal Reed and Emily Jones share the role of Beth, a survivor of a home invasion. Throughout different points in her life, about 15 years before the main, or so it seems, narrative, Beth, her sister Vera, and their mother Colleen were held captive and assaulted by two intruders. Now grown and hoping to move past the trauma, Beth hopes to forget what happened to her. Her sister still struggles with that night, however, going so far as to hide herself away in a padded room. Eventually it's revealed that it's actually Beth who's severely in denial. Yes, the whole time Beth had actually been hallucinating her adult life to disassociate from the horrors being inflicted on her family. Beth created an entire fantasy life where everything she's ever wanted had come true. Number 9, Drag Me to Hell, 2009. Drag Me to Hell is a Sam Raimi picture. Of course, it's going to be a little twisted. The supernatural horror story stars Alison Lohman as Christine Brown. After being cursed, Christine is told her soul will be dragged into the fiery pit in just 3 days. Over those 3 days, Christine tries increasingly desperate measures to remove the curse. Eventually, she's able to discover that one of the objects in her possession is cursed with demonic influence. If she can pawn it off on someone else, the curse will be lifted from her. Just as Christine thinks she's broken the curse, however, the ending reveals that the object is still in her possession, meaning that she didn't actually, before she ends up getting dragged away. Roll credits. Number 10, Good Night Mommy, 2014. In this Austrian film, Lucas and Elias Schwarz star as twin 10-year-old boys, also named Lucas and Elias. When their mother comes home from a plastic surgery appointment, her face bandaged, the boys begin to suspect their mother isn't the same person. In addition to apparent coldness towards Elias, she refuses to acknowledge Lucas. Well, there's a reason for that. Lucas had apparently died some time ago, and Elias was simply hallucinating his presence. The mother tearfully tries to get Elias to realize this, but it's too late. Elias burns down the house with his mother inside. Good Night Mommy would later receive an English language remake in 2022 starring Naomi Watts and Cameron and Nicholas Corvetti, whom you might recognize from The Boys. The plot's pretty similar to that Do-Over, with just a few minor differences. And that was the 10 movies with cruel twist endings. Let me know in the comments down below if you can think of any movies that had a cruel twist ending that you were not expecting and that surprised you and audiences. Make sure to hit like and subscribe and keep checking back to the channel for more great Toonie Terror videos like this from me, your animated version of
Row 18, plot 20.